All right, today we're jumping into a marketing playbook called Get Different. And its whole idea is really simple, but it's also a total game changer. It says stop trying to be better than everyone else and start being different, because that's how you finally get noticed. You ever feel that? Like your marketing is just spinning its wheels? You're putting in all the time, all the money, but you're not actually going anywhere? This merry-go-round idea, it just nails that feeling of frustration, doesn't it? So why does that happen? Well, the book has this fantastic concept it calls marketing's gray sea. It's basically the environment we're all swimming in, and it's the #1 reason most businesses are completely invisible. And here's the real problem. Instead of trying to wear a bright yellow suit, we're all just competing to be a slightly better version of the same old gray. Maybe our gray is a little darker, maybe the cut is a little sharper, but at the end of the day, we're still just another gray suit in a massive crowd. This really brings us to the core dilemma, the question you have to ask yourself. Seriously, if you look, sound, and act just like all your competitors, why would a customer ever stop and pay attention to you? So what's the way out? Well, it's a simple rule called the different is better rule. And let me be clear, this isn't some small little tweak to your strategy. This is a fundamental, ground-up shift in how you think about marketing. Now, this flies in the face of pretty much everything we've ever been taught, right? The common advice is always to just be better. Make a better product, give better service, offer a better price. But the book's main point flips that completely on its head. Better is not better. Different is better. Why? Because if no one notices you in the first place, it doesn't matter how much better you are. You're still invisible. Okay, so why is being different so powerful? This isn't just some clever catchphrase. It's actually baked into our biology, into the way our brains are wired for survival. It's all about hacking our primal brain. Just think about our earliest ancestors walking through the forest. Their brains had one job: keep them alive. And to do that, they had to get really good at filtering out all the background noise, like the familiar sound of their own footsteps on crunchy leaves, and instantly snap to attention at anything unexpected. Like a twig snapping. Because that sound, that could mean dinner, or it could mean being dinner. Now, that survival instinct created a mental shortcut called habituation. It's our brain's awesome ability to just tune out stuff that's repetitive and familiar. It's exactly why you ignore the flight safety video every single time you fly. And guess what? Most marketing out there has become that safety video. It's just familiar noise that our brains are programmed to ignore. Okay, so we get the why. Our brains are hardwired to notice what's different. So now let's get to the how. And for that, the book gives us a super simple, actionable plan. It's called the DAD framework. The framework is just 3 critical steps, and the order is everything. You have to do them in this sequence. First, differentiate. Second, attract. And third, direct. DAD. Simple. So, step 1, differentiate. Your only job here is to get noticed. That's it. Do something unexpected that breaks the pattern and makes someone pause, even for just a fraction of a second. That's your ticket out of that gray sea. But, and this is a huge but, just being weird isn't the point. Once you have their attention, you have to do step 2, attract. This is where your marketing has to be relevant to the right people. It has to turn that initial into a genuine, tell me more, by showing them a clear opportunity. Here's a perfect way to think about it. Showing up to a court trial in a clown costume, yeah, that's definitely different and you will get attention, but it's not going to attract any clients. On the other hand, sending a potential client a custom thinking cap hat, well, that's also different, but it's attractive because it's clever, it's relevant, and it actually hints at the value you provide. See the difference? And finally, step 3 is direct. Look, once you've earned their attention and their interest, you can't just leave them hanging. You have to tell them exactly what to do next. Give them one clear, simple, and super specific action to take. This is how you actually turn all that attention into a real result.
So where on earth do you start with all this? Well, the key isn't to go searching for that one single perfect idea. Nope. The real key is to just start experimenting and to totally reframe how you think about failure and risk.
And to help with that, here's a wild fact for you. Did you know that squirrels forget where they bury up to 74% of their nuts? 74%! Now, that sounds like a terrible success rate, right? But think about it. The goal isn't just to find every single nut. Those forgotten nuts, they grow into massive oak trees. The real magic is in the constant activity. It's the same with your marketing. Not every experiment is going to be a home run, but the consistent effort of trying new, different things is what fuels incredible growth over time. And this takes a real shift in your mindset. There's a story in the book about a therapist who was terrified her marketing would make her look like a joke. But then she had this huge realization. The biggest risk wasn't being seen as a joke. The absolute greatest risk was not being seen at all.
And that really brings us to the final question you need to ask about your own business. What is the real risk here? Is it trying something different that might not work out? Or is it playing it safe, sticking with that gray suit, and guaranteeing that you'll just blend in and never ever be seen?